hybrid and online teacher training course at Craven Community College. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate how to post an assignment in Moodle. So here we are in my HOTT sandbox. Let's take a look at how to post an assignment for students. The assignment activity module enables a teacher to communicate tasks, collect work, and provide grades and feedback. Students can submit any digital content such as word processed documents, spreadsheets, images, audio, or video clips. There is also a setting that allows students to type text directly into a text editor. To add an assignment, turn editing on. Navigate to the section where the assignment will be located. I've created a section called Assignments. Select Add an Activity or Resource. Assignment will be the second item on the list, and select Add. I have named my assignment Assignment Example 1 by typing the text in this box. I could add a description if desired, but it's not required. Everything that's required will have this red exclamation mark next to it. I am going to expand all so I can see all of the settings that are available. There is an area where I can add additional files here, and these files could be assignment instructions, a rubric, or other files related to the assignment that students will be able to open when they open up the assignment and take a look at and print if they would like. The next section is about the availability of the assignment. There are 4 settings here. We can decide if we want to allow submissions from a certain date, set a due date, set a cutoff date, which means the students will not be able to submit the assignment after that date, or a remind me to grade by date. To set one of these settings, we need to select the box that says Enable, and at that point we will be able to set a date and a time. Notice that the times are in military time, so 0000 would be first thing in the morning of May 20th, 2019. The due date is when the assignment is actually due. However, students will still be able to submit the assignment after the due date, and it will show up as submitted late. However, if you do not want students to be able to submit the assignment after a certain date at all, you will enable this checkbox, and they will literally be unable to upload their assignment after the cutoff date. The Remind Me to Grade By setting is new and very handy if you would like to be reminded to grade an item. Next, we will set our submission types. There are 3 different types that can be selected: OneNote, file submissions, and online text. Notice that file submissions is selected by default, and online text will give students the option of typing their answer into a text box within the assignment. And OneNote submissions allow for OneNote files to be uploaded. This box is important, the accepted file types. If you leave this blank, that means any file type will be allowed. But you can also specifically select the file type by going to Choose and selecting the box next to the types of files you are willing to accept in your course. I will be covering how to grade assignments in another tutorial, but for now we can see that there are different feedback types, including feedback comments, annotate PDF, feedback files, and so forth. Now we will look at submission settings. So the first one is you can require students to click the submit button. I say yes to this, but it's important to know that sometimes this can create an issue. So when students upload their file, if they do not click the submit button, the assignment remains in editing mode. In other words, it's a draft and it is not really fully submitted. And there are occasions where students have thought they submitted the file because they uploaded it and they never clicked the submit button, and so this file was actually not submitted. That can be an issue, so make sure you explain to your students that they must click the submit button if you have this set to yes. Also, we can require students accept a submission statement, and the submission statement is generic and it just basically states that it's the student's own work and so forth. So I have them do that as well. You also need to decide whether attempts can be reopened, and so the options are never, manually, or automatically until the student passes. The notifications area controls how you and your students will be notified when an assignment is submitted or graded. The grade area allows you to select some of the settings for this assignment. So my assignment is graded based on points, and the maximum grade for my assignment is 25 points. There are also some other options for scale, which will be covered in another tutorial. It's important to select a grade category. If you have categories set up in your gradebook, this is where they will show up and you can place this item directly into the category. The rest of these options are similar to other items in other activities and resources in Moodle, including common module settings, restricting access, and activity completion. The rest of these settings are based on each individual teacher's preference. So I will finally save and return to course. So that's it. Thank you for joining me for this hot topic of assignments. See you next time.